I'm going to show you my home studio just because I finished filming the 3-day life challenge. As you can see, here is my open concept room, and the good thing is it's clean and it's got white walls. The bad thing is it echoes. So I'm actually gonna put on one of those microphones right now, that way you don't hear so much echo. This is my little lapel, and I'm just gonna clip it on my shirt here, my blazer, and I need an adapter, so I'm gonna put that on. Hang on. You can probably hear me better without the echo. Make sure you hold your camera well because you don't want to drop it and risk cracking it. So once again, here is my home studio. I've got all the equipment, just not quite the right lights yet, but it's close. I've left most of my equipment in Canada, in Toronto, so here I am resetting it up in Taiwan in a different location. And just to give you an overview, you only really need a couple of cameras to film. One facing front and one facing at a 45 degrees angle, which is your second backup. I just happen to have a lot of cameras and I like to experiment with different angles just because. So if that's the case, you want a camera facing the front, one on the back side, one at an angle on the side. Okay, let's look at how many cameras I've got this time. So here off to the side is one that's gonna be shooting my side of a face. I'm standing in front of the laptop. Here is the other one. This one is a DSLR, which is sharper, high quality. I highly recommend you to get the ones that have this swivel display. That way you can see yourself when you're videotaping to see if you're in the right frame, right? You don't want to be filming the whole thing and to realize, whoops, your face was half cropped out. Oopsie. And some DSLRs are not meant to be videotaping equipments. Like for this example, this Canon EOS Rebel T7, which I've had the first generation T1, but the sensor kind of broke. The flash doesn't pop out. Because I went to Sedona, Arizona in USA, and the vortex power there is so powerful, it kind of ruins the sensor. So be careful when you take your equipment to high vortexes or in waterfalls. They might drop and water might go in it. This one, in order to videotape, it's not so great because, you know, there's no focus point. Turn it on, you gotta see it through the viewfinder here, right? And you gotta like have a focus point, otherwise it's just gonna go zzz. So that's so great. And then when you have it on camera mode here, it might be blurry if you don't manually adjust your focus point. So the other thing is I might be standing in front of it, but I'm not sure if I'm actually in the frame, so you have to videotape it, stop it, and then check to see if you're inside the frame. Right, so that's a DSLR I wouldn't recommend. It's not meant for videotaping, and I think if videotapes only 15 minutes, then it stops. So that one's good for temporary. Maybe it's more than 15 minutes. But anyways, you have a click-clack so you know it stopped filming. The best ones are the good old-fashioned video cameras because these are meant to be used for videotaping. It has a swivel display, which I recommend because then when you're videotaping yourself, you can see yourself on camera, right? So that way, you know you're in the frame. and it's working and it's recording and so on. Okay, I also have my laptop here where I'm seeing the PowerPoint, but filming Zoom from this angle, it's lower quality as well. It's from a lower angle up, so my chin might look a little big. This is the best angle once again. I've got my Mac right here. When you have two Zooms going at the same time, make sure you mute one of them, otherwise one is gonna have feedback and echo over the other one. And then I have a mirror just to check my hair, make sure it's all in the right place. Can you see me? Can you see me? Woohoo! Right, yeah, because you don't want surprises if the shirt's open or so. And just realize it after and have to reshoot the whole thing, which is very time consuming, not to mention very energy draining if you do a few takes after a while. Here's my ring light. And on the top, I do have actually good quality lights. It's a newly one that I set up. It's got sparkles, so it's so nicely and princessy and girly. And they're in the kitchen and the dining room or living room, I've converted into one of the rooms into a dual use. So those lights are bright enough. Believe it or not, having them on actually helps with the lighting of the face as well, because get a nice, very soft lighting right here on this spot, this corner. It's what I call a sweet spot in videotaping. So just be aware of light, echo, cameras. Make sure you record early. Start recording early. You can always trim it later when you edit, because yesterday I missed turning that one on, and so it didn't film the side at all. And make sure you charge all your equipment's batteries, and make sure there's memory space. So if you need to download everything from your memory card and put in your external hard drive right away the night before, and charge. When you wake up early in the morning, make sure the camera, everything is charged. Sometimes you plugged it in and it doesn't have the thunder sign that it's charging. Just double check, because some USB cable chargers just, I don't know, they don't sense well. And when you're nervous, things don't go well and you're more frustrated and flustered. That's why I said it's good to have at least 2 or 3 cameras as backups, right? That's why you see photographers, they carry a couple of cameras, one for long shot, one for close-ups, and they're also good backups in case something goes wrong. All right, so those are my tips in setting up a home studio. I hope you have a good studio set up at a low budget so that it doesn't cost too much. Stay tuned for future videos. Thank you for watching.